Welcome to In the Flow with your hosts, Amy and Laila,
where we dive into all things intuition, spirituality, and the behind the scenes of two intuitive channels.
Hi, everybody. This is Amy and Laila, and welcome to a special episode of In the Flow.
Yeah, this week we are going into Soulwise LA and doing many readings with our Soulwise LA members, and we are going to show how you connect in with energy, how you do a reading. And so we're going to really just flow with it. We have more time, I feel like, than maybe the first time we did readings. So it'll be cool to dive in this way. And I'm seeing new faces that weren't there for the reading the first time and a few familiar ones. So everyone will receive something from it, whether your question is answered or you were able to be here or not. It's kind of how spirit works, right? Like questions come up and answers come up that can resonate with anyone. And so that's a really cool thing about listening to readings as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So whether you're in a gallery setting is what they call it, where everybody's in a physical space together, it's amazing when that happens. Or here we are digitally connected. And yes, spirit will lead you. So if you're listening to the replay and you're even 3 months into our future, just
Yeah.
know there's a reason, there's a message that'll come through. And I love when that happens. So Layla and I are going to just kind of connect in, which I feel like we mostly are already,
Yeah.
but intentionally say we've set some space. And then what we'll do is, Layla, do you want to, should we do chat room or should we invite those on to?
I feel like having you raise your hand, or you can put maybe your name in the chat so we know who asked first, and then we'll you don't have to say your question though in the chat, and then you can unmute yourself and we can go back and forth. What do you think about that, Amy?
Yeah, I love that. That will help us stay organized. I feel like, remember we were talking about, well, how spirit helps us, right? So organization, and we need to do our part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that will help us on our end because I feel like there'll be, a lot of energy and information flowing through. So
Yeah.
for those that are listening, I'm feeling like I kind of want to share, Layla, how we tune in. So
Oh, I was just thinking that. Yes.
I know. I think we're telepathically
Yeah.
right here, girl. We've got it. We're connected. So, and that's exactly how it happens. We'll get this message and this vibe at the same time. So, what I actually wanted to say is I'll be receiving a lot of information today, claircognizantly, where it's a download. I just get it, but also telepathically. So I hear a conversation in my mind from our team in spirit and from those that are here from your guides as well. So we talked this week in our activate your psychic senses or supercharge. That's what it was. Supercharge your psychic abilities class. We talked about clairsentience, and I feel it a little bit. But what's interesting to me, Layla, is it's like I'm receiving in a different way today. So I don't know why, but we'll go with it.
Yeah.
Probably because there's a lot of energy here.
Yeah, possibly. So I mostly receive through clairaudience, listening to people's guides and my guides. And then I also work with clairvoyance and my claircognizance and clairsentience. And so I do a little bit of relaying where I go quiet and I listen and then I'll speak. And so people who have had readings with me know that I go quiet and go back and forth. Um, that's how I receive information. What I'll do is I'll say your name like 3 times and connect into your energy. When you send a question, you state your question, and then I'll kind of start connecting in and letting you know what I'm receiving. So
Awesome. All right.
yeah,
So thanks everyone. We see all of your names here in the chat. Super appreciate it. And we'll
yeah,
invite you to come on and share with us your reading or your question. It will help to hear your voice, I think,
yeah,
especially for those who are at home. They'll probably really enjoy hearing
yes.
everyone.
So we have, I think, Ruth first. Amy, if you want to start off, I feel like you start off and then we'll bounce back and forth.
Yep. And I feel the energy shifting right now, even a layer deeper, which feels so nice. Okay, Ruth. Hi, love. Do you want to come on? Does it let you unmute yourself? And
Yes.
okay. Hello.
Hi. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. The question that I have is it's not specifically for me, it's just in general. What is the difference between these souls that are either like stuck incarnating on Earth or those who choose to reincarnate consistently on Earth versus the ones that only come here during significant periods of time? Because I know there's like different versions of incarnating here.
Mhm.
Um, because what you hear from or you've heard before is that you incarnate on earth until your all of your karma is completed here, but that doesn't that is, I've also heard different information
Yeah.
because I've heard that you can also complete your karma on other planets. So can you just talk a little bit about the difference between souls that choose to consistently reincarnate here versus the ones that only come here periodically?
Yeah, there's so much information coming through. And I actually really love this topic because I've written about it and channeled many times. So, um, yeah, I'm like, that's why the energy just shifted because I could feel the council of light coming in. So, first of all, I guess they're going to kind of go backwards. The last thing I saw was the way that we look at energy quantum, where it's all happening at once. So, it doesn't matter what planet you're on because it could be happening in multiple realities at the same time, basically. So, if you are one who resonates with a soul, like a star seed, we'll say, being on another star or a planet or what have you, it can all happen at once. The energy will, if it's not been cleared or healed, it's dormant and then it can activate and it can, what they say, follow you from lifetime to lifetime. So that's the most like, I'm kind of working my way backwards because that was to address the last part of your question. So let's go back to the beginning. We come to Earth for experiences, and some of us, this would be our first time in a reality, a physical reality, in a platform, they call it, in a system or a play, a game, like it's life, whatever you choose to call it. There's all these different words that come in and we're learning and we have those experiences. But if you have what you would call karma, where you create something and it isn't resolved, so whatever that might be, it could be a soul lesson, it could be something with another person, it could be something created in the community that you were a part of, and it's not resolved, then that will follow you from lifetime to lifetime until you resolve it. And there's so many different ways to resolve it. So that, karma can also be looked at in many different ways. And some people look at it as a hindrance or something negative, but other people can look at it like, okay, I'm ready to clean that up. Let's be done with this lesson learned. And with every lesson and experience, we acquire wisdom and knowledge. And hopefully, we get our strength back if we left our energy in another space. So, for those that would say earth angels or star seeds, higher level beings from other frequencies. And the reason that they say they're higher level is because they didn't collect all the karma from whatever lifetime or experience. It might be their first time in, or maybe they just had many, many lives and learned how to work through it. So now when they're not in a body, they're in a high, high frequency. If they come back into the system here, whether it's their first time or not, and they get into some shady nonsense, don't live in integrity, and really aren't living by their own morals and ethics, then they're going to find that at the end of this life, they don't feel comfortable. There's something within them that they want to heal, and they're still in that lower frequency. So it doesn't matter where you come from or where you start. It's about how you live your life, what responsibilities and accountabilities and your integrity, and then how you can lift out of this frequency when you leave the body. So you'll have some who are still going and going and going because maybe they love this place and they want to learn, and maybe it's not heavy. Maybe they just come back in because they feel a calling to be on earth. It could be their first or their thousandth time. So the problem or the issue I'm hearing is when people feel a victim to the cycle and the situation. And when they feel a victim to it, that is when it's a sign that there's something that needs to be looked at, addressed, healed, and cleared. And you can leave and come back. I've actually seen people, I do this work, heal in the other frequency. Like you can heal and clear karma not in the body, but it's an advanced way of it. You have to have all the souls that were involved be a part of that in the higher spaces. So it's kind of like a really deep topic, but they're just saying the more aware you are of it, of the little nudges and like the energy, they call it energy and information, but I'm feeling it as an emotion or a pressure on the body. You look into that and you say, what's going on here? And it's so funny because, I was just thinking about all of this. Even people I've met in my life, I'm like, oh, I didn't know at the time. And then later found out, oh, we had lives together. And is there stuff to clean up here? Or are we coming in as allies? Or like what's going on? So we work through it. But yeah, there's layers to it. And and they say we call it work, but it's really not. It's actually coming to an awareness and bringing light in to dissolve the dissonant energies. And the work that we would do is if, like, let's say there's a cord that needs to be cleaned or a hook that needs to be released, the energy body repaired. But they're showing me right now all the great masters of our time, Buddha, Christ, Kuan Yin, all these beautiful beings, and how when we embody the light like they did, that can shift timelines, it can heal, and it can lift you back up into the higher spaces. People will leave, they're saying, after they die and choose to come back in because they're uncomfortable. They want to fix it. But also, people sometimes will stay earthbound. They won't fully leave this reality. They'll get sucked back in really quick. So it's never one size fits all. There's a lot to it. And like, I feel like I could teach a whole class or write a huge book on this. So share with me, please, Ruth, how that felt, or if it sounds clean to you, or did it bring more confusion?
Yeah, it's helpful. It is helpful. Yeah, yeah.
Do you have do you have another question you want me to?
Yeah. So basically, I've read some information somewhere that certain souls will only come in during certain periods, like to create change.
That's true.
Okay.
Yes. So the goal would be not to get pulled into the karma of Earth. So the goal would be to stay clean and pure on your mission. Don't get distracted. Don't get in people's drama. Don't try and save everybody. So then you're tied into their karma now. Like, we don't want to absorb and take on the responsibilities of other people's life choices from life to life to life. So we share, we hold energy for protection and peace, and to inspire like a lighthouse we shine, but we don't, so you get it.
Yes, I do. I
Nodding.
do understand it. Okay.
Yeah.
And if I was to, for whatever reason, accumulate some karma, I can still finish out that karma in a different place that is not Earth.
You can. Doesn't mean it will always happen.
Okay.
But it's a possibility.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Such a great way to start. So deep. Laila, did you have anything that came through?
No, because I knew that you were going to be the one to be able to answer that, but I was just asking my guides, and they said the soul gladly goes into the earth space. So there's this thing, there's a lot of different thoughts processes based on people's beliefs, their background, and it's all being filtered through. So, there are people who think that, like, there's going to be a whole nother earth, right? Like, we're going to leave. It's going to be like the Left Behind series. And, all of a sudden these other people are on fifth dimension. I've read that in Dolores Cannon's work. So there's a lot of different things based off of how somebody receives information that is just slight minute shifts in regards to how we perceive karma, or how we perceive coming back into the physical body or getting caught in a karmic loop, and how it's been shown to me. So this is being channeled through me, through my own filters, as clean as I can be. So I'll be clear with that it is not as though the soul is in any kind of distress of, oh no, my shoe's stuck and I've left behind like Cinderella, I got to come back and pick up that shoe. It was more like, no, I want to balance this. This is the easiest way to do it. This is the easiest way to have that equal experience. But at times it can be spoken about like, oh, I've been sucked back in through a wormhole and I've been pulled back into earth. So it's more like what they said is the soul gladly does it. It desires balance. Is the cleanest way to do it. And if say you did like fully go off your mission and like you come back and you have that time where you're reviewing your life, you're like, man, I really wanted to do this. You karmically, as a balance, may choose to come back quickly into earth to like balance that. I still want to have that mission. I still want to clear that. I still want to be this leader in this lifetime. It's not a negative thing. It's the soul desires that for the experience, and it will come back in quickly if necessary, but it's never punitive. It just happens faster than, another experience that might take much longer.
Yeah, and I just got something. Oh, sorry.
I'm good.
Talk over you. Oops. No, I just got something to that a lot of times, exactly to that. I feel like, oh man, I maybe wanted to do it better. And so then they feel extra sense of dedication to this subject, this topic, this mission, that they also can, they're showing me raise their hand and volunteer to be spirit guides for somebody else that's doing that. Not to fully clean up their karma. They still have to do that, but it's also like, just a little extra. They really want to make it happen. So yeah, we come around in body and out of body. So.
Yeah, 100%. Way to get us going. Like that. Yeah.
I love it.
All right. So we'll move on here. Irene, if you want to come on and ask your question. Oh, I think you're muted. Do you need to unmute you?
I think she's probably saying we skipped Sharon by accident.
Oh, I see Ruth, Irene, then Sharon.
Oh, it came up different on mine. Okay. I tell you, Zoom has been funny today. I had to restart my whole computer. Yeah. So who would like to come on? Irene, let's see if you can. We'll bring you on here.
Oh, Irene sent me a direct message. That's why.
Ah, okay.
It only shows on my side, Irene, direct message.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Now that we're on this topic, because that was a great question. So is there anything from my past lives that I need to fulfill or learn in this lifetime? And I know this is like a loaded question, but maybe something that stands out. Am I meant to go into light work or anything like that?
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. So you're asking, is there any past life that is currently working with you on a soul mission, maybe this lifetime? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Did I hear that right? Okay. Did I twist that? Is that what you said?
Oh, it kind of like that. Yeah. Maybe I don't know how to describe it fully, but is there anything that I need to do in this lifetime that I wasn't able to accomplish in other lifetimes and I was struggling to get it done? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay. Let me tune in really quickly and see what I start hearing. Connecting to Is there any past life or any connection to another life that she is fulfilling or working with currently to fulfill her soul mission right now? Okay, so they're saying the first thing I'm hearing is one where you allow yourself to shine. They're saying many lifetimes and they're putting you under a shelter, almost like hiding away. But the thing is you're kind of hiding away in like this cave or cavern, and you're doing really amazing stuff within this cave or cavern. It looks like you're doing like little magical potions. So I don't know if you feel connected to like elemental energy or even kind of like witch energy in a way, where you work with the elements, but they're saying she's kind of hid herself away. And they're saying this lifetime she's being pushed outwards. And so I'm seeing hands pushing you out of the cave, but I am seeing like your feet dragging a little bit. So they're speaking about maybe past lifetimes in which you've kind of for safety and or let me ask what safety and what. They're saying safety and fear that you kind of hid parts of yourself away, some of your magic away. And so this lifetime, it feels as though you would have been put into situations where maybe at first you were kind of fearful or nervous about shining your light or speaking your truth or coming out. And even they're saying she's tiptoeing on things. So they're saying there's more depth to what you can do, but you're tiptoeing and it's showing a beautiful painting as though what looks good and what looks pretty, but there's even more down there. So it might be even wording. I'm feeling a connection to kind of like that witch kind of energy where that might make me a little nervous. I might say it's something else, or I might call something else, or I might say I work with light, but it's like there's a magical energy that's wanting to move through you, but there might be some concerns of how will that be perceived through the public eye. And so they're talking about that a little bit in regards to the labeling of things and going fully into maybe your how am I saying this? How you practice your art. Let me move a little more further into this. Why is this life showing up for her? Okay, so it feels as though they're saying she's here to go even more into that. They're showing you mixing things up. Can you understand like any kind of like maybe working with herbs or working with like the elements of some sort? Can you understand like the earth connection?
Okay.
There,
Yeah, I'm trying more to do that. I did study Reiki.
Mhm.
I have not practiced on anyone other than myself and my husband. The tippy toeing thing that you said,
Yeah. Yeah, there feels like, I don't know. And Amy, I'll be interested to see if you're picking any of this up as well, but they're feeling like I keep hearing the word alchemy, like this ability to really go deep, that there's a deeper level that's wanting to come through you, but it comes through you through, yeah, they're saying alchemy. I see you putting your hands on things. I see fire and gold energy, and there's a bigger depth, and they're saying she's riding the surface of what spirituality is, where we can go even deeper. It feels like as well, I'm feeling like this, almost like this shadow energy or divine feminine energy wanting to come through and work even more for their like transmutation. So this would be something that you would have to see, like, do I feel drawn to that? Do I feel drawn to go into shadow work and work with that with Reiki or energy healing? But they're almost making me feel like the term Reiki can even be like washed away a little bit with you. Like you're still doing that, but they're saying don't sit on the label, almost like it's important for you to go even deeper. And it feels like that's what's creating, they're showing a horse in a stall, like a little bit of stalling. I don't fully feel it, but I feel it. And they're saying, make it a little more unique. And now this horse is like riding out of the stall with its like gems and all these different colors on it. Like it's unique and personalized for you. And so they're saying, okay, they're showing a lifetime and they're showing a Bible coming out. So there could be like past lifetimes where maybe some religion was added in of what was appropriate or wasn't appropriate for you, or what was okay and safe. And so they're saying like the hiding away kind of the magic. And so let me ask really quickly, like what can you do to shift that or work with that energy more? What could you? They're saying, ask yourself, what are you afraid of? They're saying that there's a fear there. There's a deep-seated fear, and it's like low in the body. I don't know if you can understand that at all, or if you've gone that, but they're showing the shadow again, and they're showing a mirror, and they're talking that there's shadow work that really wants to work through you. And that's what's kind of like, I don't know, there's like a little bit of a stall there. Feel free to respond, ask for clarification, or move me in a different way if you don't understand it as well.
no, I get it. I have to go deeper in my shadow work. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just showing, they showed again like this veil coming over you that was white. It's like we're holding this whiteness of like this light color, like this purity, but they're saying underneath there's more there, and it's what's causing maybe a little bit of a stall in moving forward. And so it's like this is the time to go even deeper. They just showed a serpent kind of going up, so that's like the sign of transformation for me, and like spiritual transformation, and deep healing, like shedding of the skin. So I feel like there's something more that's wanting to come through. Not that you still don't use your energy healing, but it's going in and doing shadow work. Have you ever worked with that?
A little bit. I've done more inner child work than
Okay.
um,
Yeah. they're saying like yes to that, but I feel like there's a calling to looking into the shadow and seeing, like looking into books or different things like that and diving more into that. I'm even hearing like, I don't know how you feel about this, but I heard dark goddess or like dark goddess energy. And I know that can make people a little like, oh, what's the dark goddess? But I have only seen a few of that. Like I've seen Kali come up in a couple of times and worked with some of that energy, but they're just directing you towards that if it's something of interest to you, to kind of look into and see what gets pulled and drawn to you. They're just saying that there's more there that's deeper that wants to come out, that feels very magical in a sense, like a magical energy. Amy, what hopefully that helps. Let me know if you were picking up anything as well for that.
Oh yeah. Well, the first thing I saw was like a wizard energy standing by you. So I feel like wizard guide, also past life energy. And what they were saying is you just need to learn how to, or not learn how, but you already know how. So you just need to go out into the world with it in this life. It's like, so really paralleled everything you were saying, Laila, especially at the beginning. Feel comfortable with it. And how do we use that inner magic to alchemize? I got that too, to transform and to bring clarity and light to scenes and things that are happening in this world. So the vision they showed me was a whole other lifetime. You know, everything was a little bit different on like the geopolitical scene, the religious scene, even how we live and survive was different. So it's about how to use those light codes, the wisdom from within in this setting, in this reality. But they kept saying, oh, you've already done this so many times. Like you know how. It's just remembering and then transforming it or molding it to fit this lifetime. And yeah, everything you were saying, Laila, I totally got, even some of the same keywords. So I think I would say it's about just being comfortable with it. And when we were talking about the, I forget how you worded it, but the darker goddess energy, they just show me that we call it dark and heavy because it's lacking light. So all it is was emotion. It was going into people's pain. That would be the inner, not the inner child, well, it could be, but the shadow self, like going into the pain, that you knew how to go into the pain and hold space for people in the most like darkest, humbling times. So when people were just in agony, you could hold space and heal. And it takes a strong person, a strong soul to be able to do that and see it clearly for what it is, help transmute it and be neutral in the process so that because if we go into things and we're like walk away feeling defeated or in fear, that's going to definitely not be where we want to be with this. So this is strong light work. You've done this before. How to help people in their most heaviest times of need to transmute the darkness and help lift them up out of that. And especially when they're talking about this is mental anguish and emotional pain. So people that are just deeply, deeply hurting, you know how to do that. You've done this many times before.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
That's big. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Definitely feels like they're saying she's called to a like very deep mission. So it feels really good. It feels like it's just opening up for you to go even deeper. So thank you for the question. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just got chills on that. Okay, so next on my list is Sharon. Is that who you're saying, Laila?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Irene. Sharon, you're up.
Hello.
Hi.
My question is, I wanted to know if my guides or angels are sending me signals that I'm ignoring.
Yes and no, I'm hearing. So what I see is like a tapping at your mental body up by your head, and they want you to get down in the body with it. So if you feel and you're like, what is this? What am I supposed to do? They want you to breathe and pull all the energy down into your lower chakras. It's like you have these inspirations that are flowing in and more are going to come through. They're just tapping. So when you breathe, you're going to be able to pull the information and the energy into your body. You're aware of it because you're asking the question, but it hasn't fully been absorbed, let alone integrated. Like you haven't brought it into your physical body. And this is partly what they're saying when they talk about embody the information, embody the mission, embody the light. Um, we did the meditations like you and I and some here about connecting with future self, other timelines. People could do meditations to connect higher self. These are your light codes and wisdom. And your guides are like, hey, now's a good time. Let's go into some breath work. Let's go into some meditation. Let's move the body. And also, they just show you maybe it's, I don't know what kind of substance you want to use, like an essential oil or just like maybe some kind of coconut oil. I don't know, but they show you massaging the body as you're talking to your body and you're sharing like all of these beautiful words that will bring these high quality frequencies in. So I am strong, I am brave, I am kind, I am full of wisdom, like whatever you feel coming through. Yeah. And then talking to the body when you feel emotion come up that wants to release, and just breathe through it. So don't stuff emotions in, don't hold them at bay. They really want you to process it all. That's going to open your whole system up. And then you're going to start being able to feel more energy come in. And it's just going to start clicking like dominoes. Boom, 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 where all of the information will come in cognitively. It's like you feel it first, and then you're going to know exactly what step to take. So I see you smiling and shaking your head. How does that sound?
That sounds good. I mean, I feel like they're trying to give me messages, but I just can't hear what it is.
Mm-hmm. It's almost
So I do like that, the breathing, because I did have some issues this week with my head. So maybe that's, confirmation
yeah. I heard a
that I
little.
need to be breathing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. A little extra interference was there. That there's the energy around your head, and it's funny. They're the message that they're trying to get through is for you to actually connect in more with your own energy. So maybe that's like wires or like intentions crossed because you're trying to get the information from them and they're trying to tell you to get it from yourself, like your higher self, if that makes sense. So the breathing through it and listening to your body and your emotions is what's going to open the pathway for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. What you got there, Laila? Anything?
I had the same thing. So I was waiting when you said that they're wanting her to connect in. I saw her leaning against a wall. They said that she's almost like, Sharon, you're almost like relying on like hearing a message or needing, like leaning on it, requiring it. And they're saying she can receive her own, like you're receiving the messages, but it's almost as though, they're saying it's almost a little too analytical. Like sometimes there's some fear involved with the messages, not like you're getting anything fearful, but it's, then they showed you crunching numbers. Like, so we may receive a message and then try to like figure out like, how's this going to work? And can I move forward? And they said, don't do anything if you don't have a smile on your face doing it. So they were showing you like doing your work. They said, unless you can put a smile on your face and be in joy with it, just take a break. They showed you actually like laying on a body of water with rain coming down, like crying and smiling all at the same time and really going into release. So they said, we want you to dance with it more. It's not as though you're not receiving it, but it's almost like they want it to be more embodied. They want it to not, they showed you taking a like a Post-it note off the wall and like what do I got each day of a message, but they said like we'd rather it just come through you and you to have joy and like lightness to it. It's almost like it's separate from you sometimes when we're always looking for that sign, and that it's, yeah, they're saying to dance with it a little bit more and to take some breaks and to like smile and cry and dance all at the same time. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Moving forward to Dessa. Hey, Dessa.
Hello, how are you guys?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I'm glad to be joining. It's a good time for me I'm in the UK, so it's nice to be able to make it. Yeah, so my question was just around kind of understanding a little bit more about like who my main spirit guide is, and then if they kind of have any message for me or anything particular I should be kind of working on or resolving.
Yeah, let me connecting into the energy. Okay, well, I immediately feel an energy of like masculine energy coming close to me. Let me see here. Can you tell me any more about your relationship with Tessa? Okay, so the first thing I heard is that he's working with you to trust your intuition and to see things more clearly. They're saying he's saying that you are distrusting yourself, and like maybe some of the intuitive, they're taking you to your belly, like your solar plexus, like we're distrusting maybe some of the information that's coming through. And he's saying he's working with you on trusting yourself. Can you come in more and tell me, let's see here, how you work with her, like how she receives information? Okay, so what your guide is saying is that it's a physical thing for you. They're saying you'll receive like this physical like knowing, and it's working on that clairsentience, but it's also your claircognizance. And he said she's visual as well. She can see energy and information, but right now the main way that he's working with you and you're working with your intuition is through feeling and the sense of knowing. And you asked, does he have a message for you, or
yeah, or just anything in particular I should be like, I'm kind of like working on this lifetime or resolving that I need to be.
Okay, do you have any message for Odessa? Why did I say Odessa? Dessa, sorry. Odessa, that she most needs to know at this time, that she needs to be working. Okay, for one, he said you're in the right place, and he spoke actually about job, career, relationship. It's almost as though these things are like coming into line. So I don't know if you've done some shifting here recently, or you're wondering like, is this right for me? But they're saying in the right place in regards to kind of like the aspects of your life that are important: career,
Okay.
relationship, family. Okay, and then what else? I'm feeling like what I'm hearing is like, should I be doing more of this work? And it feels like the intuitive work, but what's actually important, do you have daughters? Do you have, I know you have children, but do you have daughters? And they're speaking about the connection. Go ahead.
I have a daughter, yeah.
Okay.
And I
There's
have two boys too, yeah.
Okay, what he's making me feel like is that the connection to your children is important with you opening up to your spirituality. And then it's like a passing on of energy to them. So it's almost like they're showing you kind of like this light bearer of passing on the ability for your children. So how am I trying to say this? One of your missions or one of your purposes here is to shift things and to create a new way of thinking. And I'm really being called to a daughter, if anything. And it'd be important for them to see how you are, what your beliefs are, sharing with them. I'm seeing like happiness in regards to your family. I'm seeing hands all kind of being held and walking together. So it feels like we're joining together with your ability to use your intuition, but it almost feels as though I don't feel like we're taking this to like doing readings or anything, but it's actually so that we can be more like this cohesive family unit and shine in a different way. But they're also he's saying something about like working with people, being charitable, being helpful. And this is passing along to your children, who then are going to also they're going to be doing something with that almost.
Okay.
That feels important for them to see you in that kind of, I'm hearing humanitarian kind of energy. And it's like leveling the playing field. So it feels as though this is a little bit ancestral, in which we're changing how families would have normally been seen, or roles within the family as well. Like, what does the mom do? What does the dad do? They're kind of bringing that up as well. Direct the question any other way if I didn't answer that fully, or you wanted to know something more.
No, that's really interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see if he has anything else. Okay, for me, he feels very regal, this energy that's kind of coming in. So it's interesting. It's a little stoic. It's intelligent. It's somebody, yeah, he feels very, very wise, and that he is one of your main guides and he's working with you. And what he's showing is opening up books and researching. So if you've been feeling called to like read more about spirituality or read more about even, I don't even know about parenting. It feels like parenting is a big aspect for some reason
Okay.
in what you're doing.
Yeah.
He's showing that. And then it's just like the trusting of yourself, and you're going to show your children, especially a connection to your daughter, of how she can trust herself and move on in the world, trusting her gut. So there's no anxiety. I don't know if she goes back and forth with
Yeah,
that.
she doesn't like making decisions and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's what he's saying is like you're showing her how to trust herself, because what she's doing and what she's going to be doing is important as well. And so they're showing a domino effect of,
Okay.
there's a big aspect around family this lifetime, it feels like.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome.
I just want to add a couple things I saw. I was like, okay. So I really got that you're working. There was some energy that came in on your shoulders and your heart and throat to open it. Like there was a lot of pressure, I would say. I felt this menthol energy clearing the heart and throat, and I wanted to like sit up and put my chest out. And then I just kept seeing almost as if angel wings that have been like crushed in a way, like they're crumpled, and you
Oh,
expanding and shining. And so it's like stepping into the power, like stepping into your light, stepping into confidence. And that's also using the throat, and the heart will help. So we have the chakra at the back in between the shoulder blades. There's two little chakras, and when they glow, it's like these beautiful wings. It was so funny because I'm seeing this clairvoyant vision. They're showing it to me, it kind of, there's a lot of details, and kind of maybe you could say, oh, somebody could draw this. And then I look at your picture here and I see the light behind you, and I was like, oh, that's almost like wings too. But yeah, so it's kind of fun little synchronicity there, I guess, how your
yeah,
image is
yeah.
showing up. But there's something to that. And so what it had this is something from your past that had happened that would have you just kind of like feeling low a little and not as confident, but it's through the work that you're going to do that will boost your energy and heal that and strengthen you. Laila, did you say something about volunteering, or there's something that felt
Yeah.
like Earth Angel? Yeah, that's the work to help you. So to be in
Okay.
service in a balanced
Okay.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
You're
You're welcome.
welcome. Yeah. Okay. So next we have Jackie. Hey, girl.
Hi. Okay, I'm going to try to make it as short as possible. What I want to ask. A few months ago, a property was presented to my husband for him to maybe invest in with somebody. And there was a couple people he looked at with it, and it didn't work out with them. Then there's somebody I've gotten to know the past few months who she's amazing. I feel like I've known her forever, and she's spiritual. And when I met her, I got the message, you're going to work with my husband. And I didn't even know at the time that she invests in properties and so on. And short story, they ended up coming together. I told her about this property because we thought it wasn't going to happen, but we keep having this attachment to it that we can't let go of it for some reason.
Uh-huh.
So it ends up that they're going to work together for this with this property. And
Okay.
I didn't get to see it all these months, but still had this strong pull to it. And now she has that pulling feeling with it as well, where originally they were talking about maybe just like flipping it or fixing it up and reselling it. But I went there a few days ago and I saw so much potential for like a spiritual center or like doing something with it. And I know she's going back and forth about this too, but there's been a lot of confusion, miscommunications. Also, the energy there needs to be cleansed because there's a lot of resistance and pushing people and things away, kind of feels like.
Yeah.
And sadness and fear and a lot of other stuff. So I just wanted to see, is it possible to make this happen? Or if you are you guys seeing why we're so drawn to this and like can't let it go kind of thing? Or is there something we need to do or not do rather
Okay.
with it?
I have one question because I don't know if this is me or spirit, but do I
Okay.
know this woman? I think I know her.
I think
Starts with
probably
a R.
through yes,
Yeah.
through
Okay.
mutual friend.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I was like, I kept seeing her face. I'm like, is this me or is this spirit? Okay. So
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
And I feel like there's something else to this, something for everybody to learn. Like there's a reason why she's connected
Yeah.
with my husband, because they have to teach each other something. Like, I know, sorry, going on.
No, you're good. So at first, when you talked about it, it was like such heavy energy of a no. And then you said, oh, it fell through. I was like, okay, because that was a clear no. But as far as them working together, it's like a flower opening. It's like it will be revealed. So it's supposed to. I don't know what's going to happen in that relationship. I think there can be mentoring and beautiful things, but also healing, or I don't know. But as far as this property goes, there is a lot to this property. So I did get this spirits around it definitely needs to be cleared. And it's an energy calling to it. And it might be for the clearing and healing of it, but you could take care of this property because it's almost like it has its own soul. It's like this property saying, come and help me. I have some, riffraff spirits here hijacking this place, and there's so much potential. And I just want to kick them out of my space. It's like an infestation kind of. So there's definitely a spiritual aspect to it. Is there Native American land there? That's why I just got like feeling like there's like this deep healing that originally the land had so much power and potential to it. And it's been overlooked and it's been disrespected, I'm hearing, and just I'm like seeing trash and garbage and dirt everywhere, whether that's physical or the energy of people's, how they treat the space. So at a soul level, yeah, there's something beautiful and magical that can happen here. And they just keep showing, let it unfold. Like go in and take care of the property and then see from there if you choose to keep her in your care and trust, or, like gift or adopt her out. Is this the way they're talking about it? Like we don't sell. So, find her a new caretaker kind of a thing. But there's definitely something there. So the thing is, like financially, there might be some movement and bumping and resistance with finances. So don't get discouraged, but give it, I mean, it might be like 3 different tries to get a loan or find the funding, something in that way. So just also don't stress about it. Ask spirit, hey, if we're meant to be here, call the angels to let it all come together. So I know she knows how to like do this. So I don't know your husband, but it feels like, yeah, it would be really good.
Okay.
Are you getting anything, Laila?
I thought, no, I was allowing you and everything was feeling like, yes. So
Okay.
yeah.
There was a lot that because I was tuning into the relationships and the property and the land. Yeah. Yeah. So fascinating.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay. And then we have Sophia. Sophia, you're up.
Hi.
Hi.
I have so many questions, and some that I'm like scared to ask.
Ooh.
I know. I lost my boyfriend a few months ago to this like tragic freak accident. And it was like we just had our whole future like planned together. So really sad.
Yeah.
And I just like I'm just so curious like why this happened. I'm also not, but I like am. And like, was it part of our, either of our soul contract, and how much of like free will played into it? And I guess like the lessons that I need to learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tune in for you and see what I'm going to receive connecting to you. One moment. Let me write a few things down. Why did this happen? Okay. So asked a couple of questions, but I get the gist of what you're looking for, and it looks for peace, like you're looking for peace. And so I did feel the energy kind of come in on my side. If you're okay with me going that way, I felt the energy come in. I did feel like I wanted to like call you babe, almost, like, if that makes any sense at all. And so I was feeling that that energy coming in, and it was he had no idea in this kind of physical way. He did not know that that was happening, but he was saying, he was showing me almost like this bridge, this wooden bridge, and he was saying it was time to go across it, but he wasn't aware in regards to, like, he didn't make a choice, but it was a choice point. He said, what did I hear? I didn't know. Okay. He did say, I'm here and I'm around all the time, and you feel it, and you feel like you know that he's there. He also said we were on our way to our next, almost like, adventure. He was talking about your life being like a next adventure. And but he's actually a little goofy, is kind of like the feeling I'm getting. Like, he's kind of goofy and kind of funny, and he would be very he's saying I was able to, like, shake her up and make her a little more, like, go with the flow and fun, and like shake her up. And so he's kind of being a little silly right now with me as he's standing here for you. He almost said, like, he almost called you, hopefully you don't mind, I mean, he's saying it, but I heard, like, the word sourpuss, like, she walks, like, now she's walking around, she's so sad, and he's like, she doesn't, and he's like bringing that to attention, that that's not what he wants for you. He just feels really, like, happy and jolly. Let me ask more questions. So why did this happen? Why did your guys' soul meet, and why? Okay. He said, okay. He said, we were supposed to meet. You guys were soulmates. You were supposed to meet and connect. He said, there is more, but we can't. And he put a door in front of me. He said, we can't go through that right now. We can't. So he's saying, I can't explain why this shift happened and what's going to be coming up in the future for her. But he's saying there was a reason for it. And he said, I reluctantly kind of let go. So he's showing, it's almost like he's still kind of hanging around a bit. And so you'll feel his energy really strongly. He's talking about songs that you may hear as well that remind you of him. And so that happens recently. And then also I'm seeing, like, taking out pictures and putting pictures in recently. So, like, looking at photos and kind of laughing and going back and forth. So I don't know if you kind of, like, looked at some photos or anything like that, but he's saying, like, if you laughing at memories, like, that's good, like, that's helpful. And what else can you give me? So I know I'm kind of going off and kind of reading his energy. Hopefully you're okay with that. Because he just stepped in really strongly. It was very much this, like, teddy bear, like, strong masculine, but, like, so gentle and soft. And I'm seeing actually, like, a stuffed animal as well, kind of being given, is what I keep seeing, like this stuffed animal, and almost like a pet name of some sort, like, is what I'm feeling like coming through too. And he's saying, so can you give her any more like piece of why that happened or what she's supposed to be? Is there supposed to be lessons in this? First, he said, this isn't anything that you've done or anything I would have created purposefully, is what he wanted to say. He's saying, don't look for it. Don't go too deep into figuring out, like, did this happen in another life, or did I create this, or is this something that he knew? And like, it's almost like the tragedy. He's talking about like tragic. He's opening up Romeo and Juliet and kind of showing me that book. He said, it's not a tragedy that was written. It wasn't meant for that. He just keeps saying there's more that you're supposed to be going through, and it's almost as though he's going to be leading your way down this. So you're going to feel him connected, and there's going to be and I know that's not like he's saying that because he's actually like optimistic. He's coming off as an optimist kind of person. And he's saying it's going to be all right. And he's saying that like word babe again, but he's like trying to make you feel better, is what I keep seeing. Ask a question or ask for any clarity, or let me know if you understand or if you want to ask anything else.
No, that was really beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that was just really, really beautiful. Thank you. And I think like, I just wanted to be a mom so bad. I was like, we were both like so excited for that, but,
yeah, he showed me an image of like holding a little kid's hand, but it didn't feel like that was in this reality, in this energy right now. But he was showing that. Let me ask about that. Why did you show me that image? Okay, so he's giving a nudge to being a spirit baby still coming in. And it's almost as though he's with that spirit baby in that energy, not in the physical at this moment. And he's playing games with him outside. I'm seeing him playing football with this little kid. I'm not going to say if it's a boy or a girl, but they're showing them playing games. Yeah, they're playing football. And he also said she hears me sometimes, like you feel like you hear him or hear him call your name or something like that. And it's like his energy is really strong. It's just really strong. And he's trying to come through with a lot of signs. And I'm feeling like you may even like smell smells that remind you of him, or even like colognes or something like that. So it feels like he's somebody who's like gregarious and will like be like, I got to make her feel better and know that there's a reason, but I can't tell her why yet. But that he's close to you.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if you're wearing like something in remembrance of him, or you wear a ring or anything like that. Yeah, but I'm showing something around your neck kind of hanging. And I'm just seeing like a bowing down and kind of an honoring of you. And I see a teddy bear with a heart being sent over. So it's just like sending out love and comfort, and that this is for a reason, but it's like it can't fully be explained at this point.
Thank you, Laila.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing that. Okay.
So pretty.
Yeah.
Let me see who's next. Joetta. Hi, hun. You're up.
Hey.
Hi.
Mine's kind of a multifaceted question. I get a lot of visions of not just like spirit guides, but also past lives, parallel, and future lives. And I'm kind of just wanting to figure out how to tie it all together, because it's just little, glimpses over the past, year or so. So first part of that, I'm wondering if you could tell me like what my soul's origin is, because I've seen a couple different things. And then like, as far as the future timelines that I've seen, am I on track to move towards those? Or is that, I don't know what's parallel, what's future, it's hard to tell unless I see like the period time clothing.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell what's what.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what's coming through. So first, what's interesting, some of your guides have been in other lifetimes with you, and that's why
Mm.
it can be confusing. So just to
Okay.
kind of let you know, they'll actually, it's like a flashback of a scene. Your mind might not be familiar with that, but your soul does, like your spirit knows. So that awareness can then bring and transfer over from that life whatever you need for them. It's like a message. So whatever you need for your mission or for healing, for clarity. I mean, it could be information, it could be strength, it could be them being like, hey, remember when you did that? Don't do it again. It could be anything. So there's both of those things happening here. And they're helping you clean up some of the old stuff. So any of that energy that's still active in this lifetime, they're bringing you to those moments for a certain reason. So
Mhm.
um, it's so funny when you asked about soul origin. I got two things, and I heard Syrian. So there's a lot of Syrian energy working with you. But then I
Yeah.
also heard the word source. They're like, you come
Hmm.
from source. So when we talk about our soul origin, like literally, what does that mean? You weren't like Syrian energy was one of your strongest places, and the energy that's with you now. And it's a frequency that there's so much light in it, and wisdom and courage and strength. And they're talking about details. So when you look at the details, it's like you zone in. And those are some of the qualities from that life and that existence. But prior to that, it was source. We all come from source.
Mhm.
So that's what they're sharing there. And
Okay.
then you asked about, are you on the right future, or are you on the right frequency for this timeline that you're envisioning? Is that
Yeah. So like I've seen a lot of what appears to be future timelines, and am I making the right choices,
okay? They're
for that?
saying, yeah, they're just saying trust your heart and the energy, because you're actually rewriting timelines. So sometimes you'll see it, but it's not going to happen, because in the
Hmm.
moment that you see it, you're altering it, for the better.
Hmm.
Yeah. So like it's kind of like you're going in, you're like, oh no. Let me erase that. And so you're starting from the heart center and your solar plexus. That's where you're creating the future timelines,
Hmm.
literally day at a time. It's rewriting, but the frequency that you hold and carry, it's an energy, and everything will just like how they show it, like water, like you pour, or a wave of water comes and you're just floating forward on the water. It's all going to be perfect. They're saying there's nothing to worry about when you bring your awareness to the now and how you're holding your energy. So some of those timelines, um, if they seem like, oh, I don't want that, don't get fixed on it. Like, don't get upset. Just, okay, just speak it out. And then each day you're going to be guided by the physical actions and decisions that you need to take. So it's a whole different way of working with energy, it feels, but that's really how we're being led right now. Does that all make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely had visions of life going one way, and then it's a different way, and it's like, wait, what what future am I really having? Because, or what am I working towards? Because yeah, I've seen different futures, and it's kind of confusing.
Oh, it's really confusing. They say just hold the energy. They want to have me do my little share that we're moving, and we had like 4 different places we could have moved. And every time I'm like, oh, where are we going? So within all of that, it was like I was being guided the whole time just to hold the energy, like hold the peace, speak what I like, and I'll share a later date like where we're gonna go. But it was like, holy, I didn't even know this place existed, and it has everything that I envisioned right here. And I even was like, if there was a place that had this, this, and this, I'd be so happy. And then it found us. So
Mm.
really hold the energy, and you're, if this word's been used so many times, but literally co-creating. You have a say in it.
Yeah.
So just hold the energy and take it a day at a time. But it all looks really nice. There's only a couple. They show me writing with a pencil and then erasing. But like you're gonna probably find like, oh, I thought I wanted this and now I don't. So,
Mm.
and that's okay to get clarity and be clear with things. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Right. I was still clearing my energy from that, so I didn't hear the question, but I know, Amy, it sounded beautiful, your response. So yeah, I'm not going to jump in with that one.
That's
So
okay.
thank you, Joetta. And then Lacey. Okay, Lacey's, yeah, she's still here. Lacey's iPhone. Do you have a
Yes,
question?
I'm here. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Let me
Okay.
turn on my video. Sorry. Oh gosh. Okay.
You're
Video.
okay. You don't, okay. Well, hi.
My question is really just what, what what do they think I need to know at the moment?
Okay. Okay, let me connect in. Lacey's wanting to know from her guides and angels. What is it that she must needs to know at this moment? Okay, so the first thing I heard is continue having fun. Everything's a game for you at this moment. They're showing you like, oh, it's almost like you're refinishing furniture, but I don't know if this is not actually literal. It's like we're taking off and we're like redoing things. We're like creating a makeover for ourselves, and it's like this whole new. So they're showing you like stripping away old paint, and they're using that as a visual of like we're redoing things. We're refreshing and our whole life almost. What else does she must need to know? Okay, they said, okay, again, they said you're on the right path. Your ability to hold joy is one of your greatest strengths. They're talking about sunlight and your ability to be a light for other people on this earth and make other people feel really comfortable. They're saying this ability to spread your light out, spread your energy out, and be this beacon of light. And they're saying it's hard fought. It's like you've worked hard to become this person to where you can hold that kind of energy and light. And it's natural for you. They're saying it exudes naturally out of your energy, that people feel comfortable around you and feel as though you're a natural nurturer. They're saying somebody who people can come and speak with. And they're saying this is a gift to not feel as though, oh, should I be doing more? Or I should be further along, anything like that. They said a lot of people can't hold that kind of energy, that nurturing energy that you can. It's like a natural healer is what they're making me feel like, and that people are drawn to animals. They're showing like animals coming close to you and everyone feeling really safe in your presence. What else do you guys want to let her know, her higher selves? Okay, they're talking about like new opportunities coming up for you as well. So I don't know if you've been looking. This kind of feels like a couple of different things. It could feel like career. It also could feel like maybe where you live or things around you, but they're talking about new opportunities popping up that maybe you've been talking about as a family or trying to create. It feels like it could be vacations or trips. It feels like they're saying more things are coming up that maybe you've been wondering, are we going to be able to do that? Are we going to be able to create that for ourselves? And they're showing it down your path, like things are working out for you of new opportunities. Can you explain that any more or anything else that she most needs to hear at this moment? Okay, they're talking about playing music. So they're talking about using your gifts, but they're showing you playing with music. So I don't know if you've been trying to actively connect in to your intuition, but they're showing you like shaking a maraca or like beating on a drum. Like music is going to be a natural way for you to get into the rhythm of things. And so it's almost like you're having fun with your children though. So I don't know how you feel about that kind of connection, but they're saying, you being silly, and they're talking about inner child as well, like being silly, goofy, laughing, and like playing, like they're showing it like a maraca is how you are healing. And also it's very much kind of like how it came through, I think for Dessa, that's a huge thing for you, is like creating safety within your children's life and creating a different way of being, and it's healing you. And this could be kind of like inner child. They're talking about healing. And so they're saying like, it's okay to be in that softness. It's okay to be in that space where you are truly just nurturing and having fun. But I can see they're talking about also developing your gifts more. And it feels like through writing. So if you are able to automatic write or channel or receive information, it feels as though you are able to do it through writing, and almost a little bit as well. It feels like I would be writing like affirmations or mantras, or maybe release like connecting with moon cycles too. Like that could be something they're kind of bringing that up. Like she has a natural connection to the moon and the cycles of the earth that are really important for her. And it's making it fun for not only you, but for your kids. Like yet again, your like family is being brought up into it as being something that's very supportive and natural for you. Anything else that she most needs to hear at this time for Lacey? Okay, they're saying keep having fun. They keep pointing to it, and they said your joy is not like a negative. It's not like something that somebody can like say, take advantage of anymore, like anything like that. They're saying your joy is such a gift that so many people can't even reach at. So they're saying just stay in the lane of finding your joy, and that's going to lead you wherever you want to go. It just feels like fun things for you, and like it's definitely much about your household though, like things clearing up with that, and like just getting like even more streamlined, even more like, I don't know, joyful kind of. So
That's
do you have,
amazing. Thank you so much.
oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Did any of that resonate, or do you have any questions on that?
Big time, because just recently I kind of had like a breakdown moment when, and it brought up a lot of like childhood stuff that I felt. And after I like worked through all of that, I realized like, holy crap, I have such a beautiful light inside of me, you know? And I let for like a full decade or two, I let everyone like kind of break me and tell me like, no, you need to be tough in this world. Like you can't, it's a dog eat dog world. And kids always like hated me, bullied me because I was just like, hi, how are you? And like, be my friend, and I was just like a walking bullseye basically. But now I'm realizing that that's me, and it's so beautiful. And, I think that that's like it's just my personality. And I'm not going to let people make me feel like I can't be like that anymore. Because it was so dark and so sad. And I was so lost when I held that down. Like, I did not like that part of my life at all. It was so sad. And now that I have it back, I'm even more grateful to have that back, because I know how terrible my life is without it.
Yeah, that's
So
so
yeah.
beautiful. Oh, thank you for responding and saying like what you felt about that and how it resonated. And it definitely feels like you will like it like triggered other people, maybe like your joy, your happiness was triggering for others. So I love hearing how you moved through that, and now you're just like exuding that energy, and it's just exciting and fun. And so it's really beautiful to be around. Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, yeah, thank you for responding. All right.
Okay. I want to share one thing, Lacey. I just saw when Layla started, and I think you said games and have fun. I saw Tetris and all the old Nintendo games I used to play, and everybody just having fun in a room. And then there was a storm outside, and it's like you invite in people that are out in the storm to come for a peaceful, safe space. And then in the kitchen, it was as if you already had soups and cakes and cookies, like everything that you'd want when it's freezing outside to eat. And there was an added message to that to make sure like you're prepared and you're taking care of yourself so that you can, be able to invite others in, that you have the resources, meaning time and the energy, that you're taking care of yourself with your, your energy reserves. So wanted to share that. And I keep hearing like a safe space for people. Yeah. Yeah. So
Love that. Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Did everybody that wanted a question get a question? Athena, did you have a question? Okay. Hi. Let you unmute. Let's see.
Okay. Sorry. I know this is going to sound really freaky. I have never done Zoom on my phone in my life. I've always done it on a computer. So I didn't know how to make my screen go away when I had to go take care of my neighbor's dog. And I'm sorry for the distraction. It must have been maddening, but my apologies.
No, you're good.
So my question is regarding my mom right now. We're having a lot of issues with her, and there's a lot of drama with that I have let go of, and we're just kind of saying, if this is your choice and this is how you want this to be, then we can't interact with you until you decide that you want to work on this with us. And so I think she's having some memory issues that are playing a part. She has high anxiety, but she has health issues as well. But we're basically not communicating. None of the children will talk to her without a witness present. It's gotten to that point, so it's pretty bad. So I just wanted to kind of touch base on that. And, am I handling it the best way I can? I don't know. Any insight you have to offer, I am grateful for.
Yeah, the archangels have come in, Michael and Jeremiel. Then you have Raguel and Sandalphon and Metatriel. You have 5. And they were showing, so I'm glad that you confirmed, because I was seeing that her physical mental capacity is at odds with her spirit. Like there's this internal going back and forth, and it's hard for her to really know and understand what her own thoughts and feelings are, and they can flip quickly. And so there is that memory, like short-term memory loss that happens within it. So it's a bit chaotic. They're talking about calming her nervous system. And then the last part, like when you were speaking, I think you said you stepped away. They were like, what more can you do? They just put their hands up and stepped back. Like, what more can you do? So at this point, it would be checking in to make sure she's got, physically taking care of health and safety in that way. And they show like having a caregiver, maybe it's a home health nurse or somebody checking in on her that's outside of the family, somebody that she really feels comforting with because there's no history there, somebody that knows how to work with her and redirect her. She kind of is going back, or if she hasn't, she will be almost to like teenager or a toddler where they are defiant and they want to fight everything. And it's like we have to be sensitive and cautious and really discerning in how we word things so that it feels like it's their choice, and to not have a butting of the heads in a battle. So there is something going on with the brain.
Right.
And so the other part of that is, okay, you've got energy of physical body, spirit world, her soul energy. There's a lot here. So if there's any way you can use sound, I don't know, because you said you kind of stepped away, but any way to use sound, any kind of music that she likes. It could be, meditative music, but it could be music from her childhood that would bring back good memories, her teenage years. Find the periods of her life that were beautiful. And oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry because I can feel it. Like all the good times in life, obviously stay away from any struggling years and stuff. And the music is going to sing to her and speak to her soul and bring her back into that frequency to calm her, to try and calm her down. But it is some disconnections between different realities and realms, and she is going into other spaces. So did that help with?
It does. I mean, she's adamant that these are not her issues and that she's not having them, and that we are, she feels that we are attacking her, so to speak, by saying, we're not saying that you have these issues, even though we know she is, because we're trying to be very respectful and compassionate. The way I explained it, I was talking to a friend, is it's like if you find a wounded wild animal and their initial reaction is fear and to attack you for trying to help them. That's kind of how I feel my mom is right now. That's the analogy. So she's so defiant, and any insinuation that she's not at 100%, even though it's like, look, it's normal process of aging, trying to downplay it as much as possible. And she is just vehemently opposed and defiant to any insinuation otherwise. And then we are traitors and we have betrayed her. And yeah, it's just bad mojo.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really a hard situation, but there's a part of me that feels like, I don't know how much longer she can last like this. And of course there are people who last a really long time like this, but there's a fine line where you're like, I hope it doesn't last too long, because it's just so painful to see her go through it.
Yeah.
Not that we wouldn't want her here, but she's not our mom anymore. She's a different person now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely an internal struggle, and yeah, it's the physical body breaking down as what I'm seeing. So here's an example of what would help her is staying like on a schedule, or having a bullet point, a list of the day, what do we do in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening? However, if you present it to her, she might take offense to it. Why do I need this? So it would have to be in a way of like, oh my gosh, I found this new, I don't know, dry erase board that I love, or,
right.
I found this, I love it. I don't know, would you want it? And, make her interested, or this planner or whatever, but it should maybe come from a caretaker, not somebody that she already feels in her own way kind of like threatened that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, she accused me of attacking her and I didn't. I was scared for her. I thought she'd worked herself into such a frenzy. I thought she was literally going to have a heart attack and die in front of me. And so I put my hands on her shoulders. I was like, Mom, you need to sit down. You're scaring me. You need to sit down. And she has misremembered that on the gerbil wheel that she's on in her head, and created memories that don't exist from it. I mean, it's really bad, but those are really good suggestions. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. They're also saying for you and your siblings, or those that are involved, some kind of, you could do help, a group, of others that are going through it, so that you can have resources, or a book or a podcast, like just, read up on it, learn a little bit more, and so you can kind of be prepared and not be taken by surprise.
Yeah. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome. Did you get anything, Laila?
I did, but it was different. It wasn't about like how to, like, you went over a lot about the mom, and I love that. When I was asking at the same time at the end, they were all directing information towards you of how like you can move through this, but in a little bit of a different perspective as well. They were showing a piece of pie, and they showed equal slices of pie. And so it feels as though they were saying there was an unequal distribution of energy that's being put towards this situation. They're talking about equality among all the family members, ensuring that you're not taking the pie, and they're showing you washing the dish and putting it away, that this is expending your energy. They also said that this is like, it's like taking it off of your shoulders, taking all of this responsibility as yours, off of you. And they said that what's really going on here is we have to process the grief and sadness that we're experiencing. And they're showing you as a little girl to your mom. And so they said right now what's happening is we need to move through this grief, because this is like it's a stage of grief that is like, she's here, but she's not the same person I know. So how do I grieve that? And they showed you writing. I said, well, how is she supposed to do that? They showed you writing letters to her as though you are a little girl and you're growing up in the letter, and you're speaking to the mom that you know, and the mom that feels like isn't here at the same way. They're saying, so write letters to her and create a collection of a way of like writing out your grief and your sadness, and almost like the release of it. Because they're talking about a fear of who you are and what life looks like now that this is shifting. And so they're also, they were speaking about nature for you, being out in nature. So I don't know if you've recently been going out. They also showed horses. So I don't know if you feel a connection to horses, but they were showing like connecting into horses. And I was just showing you like holding on to one and like receiving love back and forth in nature. But they said this is going to be really supportive, and it's writing out letters to your mom, and learning how to unshoulder some of the responsibility and grief that you're experiencing, because right now it's like there's this medical and all this other stuff, but really it's like I'm scared inside as this little girl, and I don't know who I am in this situation with my mom. And so it's allowing that process to move through. And then Amy gave some beautiful suggestions of how you can like find support and how your family can find support with that as well. But they definitely were focusing it all on how you're experiencing it and how to grieve that and move through that, which is unknown. It's unknown. Yeah. You're welcome. Okay.
Oh, wow. I just loved how we both got, it's why I love doing the tandem readings. I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for coming on with your beautiful questions today.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Laila?
I'm feeling good. I'm still feeling like deep in that energy of what Athena, it felt very big and huge. I think for everyone could probably feel that energy of that sadness. And then I also want to really honor Sophia for speaking about her situation, because it really is such a vulnerable spot and you allowed yourself to be so open for it. And it's hard to know what that's like moving through it. And so it's the unknown for both of you in different ways. Of how do I process and how do I get through that. But I think everyone's questions were so beautiful and so expansive. And I love knowing more about you guys just by the questions that you ask and then reading into the energy. We have such a beautiful collection. We have such a beautiful collection of people who are in this Soulwise community, and we just want to keep growing it and keep working with you guys in however way you most feel supported. So I feel very blessed at this moment as well.
Yeah, I do as well. Thank you, everybody. I just want to share, Sophia, if I may. I felt his energy, at the beginning, but I didn't open my full space because Laila was doing beautiful reading. But he was like, I couldn't stop smiling. So I don't know if he's just like a happy guy, right? And then when you were saying, oh, I have all these questions, but I'm nervous, it was like there was all of this support and spirit cheering you on. They're saying, just do it, ask. They really wanted you to. So, it's a challenging, experience. I'm sure I haven't gone through that at this level, but I just feel so much love for you. And I also saw that you had other lives together and you're going to be together again. So I just want to give you, like a big hug and just let you know that there's a lot there for support. And I was seeing it as well. And thank you for being so brave, like Laila was sharing and asking. And yeah, everyone, this was really nice to connect on a Saturday too. Like it was really a great little break to my day, and I so enjoyed tuning in. And gosh, I guess we'll see you guys on our Soulwise LA coming togethers. I can't recall what we have next because we flipped it, right? Do we have a Q&A?
Yeah. Q&A, mentoring, coaching. It can be so many things. Every question you guys asked, we can ask on the Q&A, coaching, mentoring, whatever as well. So like this is like, it's like mini readings, intuitive readings and coaching, and that will be on Tuesday. And then maybe we can post this on what do you think, like the bonus or resources of this as well, so that you can go back and listen to that or listen to it on the podcast.
Yeah, it'll probably come out on the podcast sometime after. We could get it up on Kajabi beforehand.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I love listening to my readings because I feel so much energy when I'm receiving a reading that sometimes I don't process the words fully. I'm like, I need to hear that 5 more times, please. So we will get that up to you guys as soon as we can.
Yeah, 100%. All righty. If no one has any questions, we'll send you guys with love this Saturday, and we'll see you next week.
Yes. And I want to thank all of our listeners on In the Flow with Amy and Laila. And this has been such a fun experience. Let us know if you would enjoy more demonstrations and readings, or if there are any topics that are coming up for you that you would love to hear Laila and my opinion and advice on. And we will see you guys again on the next episode of In the Flow with Amy and Laila.